Hi, welcome back to Tiger Tech Videos. In this video, I want to talk to you about starting a website. And that might sound intimidating, but if you use Google Sites, you're going to find that it's very user-friendly. I found having a website was a really valuable resource for students, parents, other teachers, that I could put my information on there and they'd always have access to it. I always knew where those files were, and so did the students. So let me show you how easy it is to start a Google site. So first thing you want to do is just in the omnibar at the top, type in sites.new. So if you weren't aware of that, that's a new shortcut that they released a few months ago in the Google Apps. And if you want to open a new doc, for example, you could put docs.new. And if you do that, it'll pop up a new Google Doc. Same with Sheets. There's a lot of different apps that will work that way. So back to a Google site, this is what it will look like when you get there. And you can see it's just blank. And on the right-hand side, you have a lot of information here. And this is where you're going to add different types of pages, different information. So let's take a look at that. So we have enter a site name. So first you're going to give your site a title. I'm just going to say example teacher site. Enter site name, example teacher site, Mr. Bollendorf's example site. Your page title here, again, you could type the same thing, Mr. B's site. So if you want to change the background here, you can see it says change image, and this is all pretty user friendly. You could select an image, you can upload an image. They have a kind of a library of some images, a gallery of images already there that you could pick, and I'll just select that one and take a look at that. Okay, so you can see there's some sticky notes on bulletin board back there as the background. If you want to change what this site looks like, you can go over here to themes, and there's only about 6 themes here to choose from, as you can see. And so you can try out different themes just by clicking on them. It'll change it to a new theme and see which one you prefer. So there's a limited number of choices there, but that actually makes it a little easier because it's not so overwhelming. In this video, we're not going to talk too much about the format because it can take a while to get it to look just the way you want it as far as putting pictures in and things like that. But I'm just going to get you going on how to start putting in pages on this Google site. And it's just some of the basics. You know, you could tweak the settings and the background pictures and all of that stuff once you get kind of a format outline built. So let's just focus on the basics on this video, and I'm going to show you here that if you would pick one of these, let's say I chose this one that says Vision. Okay, so I can choose different font styles if I want to down here. There's only a few choices again, but you can change that, and you can see that automatically changes when you select one of those. I can change the color scheme here, and it will change some parts of what it looks like. It looks like at the top bar, then that changes that color. I think I would prefer this gray color that goes a little bit better with the picture I chose. And then you can also do a custom color here and choose whatever shade you want. I'm going to go back to insert. So here's your opening, and let's say you wanted to put some text here about yourself. So this area here can serve several purposes, but you could treat it as an intro to your page, maybe to your course. And all you have to do to add a new page then would be go over here to pages and then just hit the plus sign. You can say new page or new link. So I'm going to hit new page, and I'm going to type in unit 1. Okay. And then I'm going to add another page. I'm going to call that unit 2. Maybe that's appropriate for something that is going along with this course. Let's say you start adding some of those in there and you realize I want to add something that gives a course outline. Course outline. And that could be something you put on the intro page, or you could decide to put a separate page for that. So I'm going to hit done. And let's say I want to do new page, course syllabus. Let's say it's a high school level class and you have a syllabus. Or you say class rules. New page, let's say class rules and expectations. So we've created all of these pages, and you notice at the top now it's popping up where I can now click on them and go to those different pages. You can see they all just copied the same format that I have as my home page. And now I'm just going to these other ones that, again, we could just add sections and add. I'm going to show you how to add different parts to those. Okay, so now we have this part. Let's say I want to move these in front of my units on my menu. So what you do is you go to Pages here, and then you can move around where these are. So if you go over here to the right of any of these and you click, it'll say duplicate page, add page, hide from navigation. So you can hide some pages if you want to. It gives you some options there, but you can also click them and move them. So if I want to move unit 1 below these, I could do that, and then let's say I grab unit 2 and I want to put that below unit 1. So now I have the course outline, syllabus, expectations, all that stuff. And you could, if you wanted to, make some pages, some sub-pages in here. So you can click here on the 3 dots that are next to your page, and for the course outline, you could, let's say, add a sub-page there, and then you can name that. So course outline, maybe you want to say first semester. And now you've broken it down into some subcategories on those pages. So if I would go up here and click on course outline, you can see it pops down, and now I have first semester there. And then I'm going to go course outline. Let's just add another subpage and say second semester. So now you can see that I have up here on the, I'll go back to home. Here's home, and if I hover over course outline, now I can see it's broken down into other semesters. So in the other semesters, again, you can do that, and you can, again, if you want to, add a subpage, and you could keep going if you need to, if that fits your needs for that class. Okay, so let's go back to, let's say I go over here to more, and you can also change how this looks up here with this navigation settings. So over here on the left-hand side, there's a cogwheel here, it looks like a gear, and you click that and it says top navigation or side navigation. If you click side navigation, you'll see that the menu is going to be somewhere on the side here. It says show sidebar. So this is where you'll see it in this view. The only thing I've found about this that can be a little confusing is it can be hard to see where your menu is, but it seems to me that more websites are going with this design where this is getting to be standard practice to have these 3 lines representing more information to click on. So I think people are starting to get used to that, and I think your students would know where to look, but that's something that they would click on then and they would be able to see what it looks like. I can hit close there. Okay. So that's an option you have over here under this gear. That's your navigation settings. So I'm going to put it back to the top navigation just so you can see them at the top here. All right, now if you want to insert more information, let's say we go over here to Unit 1. Let's say Unit 1 is about biomes in science. So I can change the image here, and I can select an image. And now you have a bunch of choices again by selecting the image, and I'm going to search. I'm just going to search the web. So I'm going to type in biomes here, and let's just see what kind of images we get for biomes. Okay, so let's just use this first one that popped up and see what that looks like. Okay, so I like that because I have, now I'm going to change, it says Unit 1, and I'm just going to put a colon there and say biomes. Okay. So I kind of like that because now I have a nice visual that goes along with the biomes unit here in science, and now I can hit insert over here, and this is where you're going to add your content. So you can add a text box if you want to, and you can start typing in here. Here is my first text box. If you wanted to put some more images there or links, let's say you wanted to add some files from your drive, you could then click on from drive, and then you could upload a file that you need to. So let's say that I had a file that I wanted to put in there. I'm just going to pick a random one that I have here. Let's say there's a picture of a drawing here. I'm going to click on it and then hit insert. So you can insert files from your from your drive. In this case, it was a picture, and so this picture then, if you want to connect it to the box that you made up here, this text box, you can grab the picture and move it around to where you want it. Notice how it, as I go near this text box, it will put it on the top, the left, or the right or bottom. So one thing you can do to kind of combine it is you can click on the text box and you could slide this over if you want to. Then you can grab this picture and then you can put it, kind of embed it with the picture like this, and it kind of connects into that. So now this is sort of combined together, and this can be moved together. They're sort of linked together, a picture and some text here. You can embed videos. So let's say I just went down here on this side and I want to put a YouTube video in there. You could do that. You could put a calendar, a map. You can see all those different options there. So really, this is a way you can get started that's very quick and easy, is just to start messing around with it a little bit and trying to add things and move them around. And you'll see it's very user-friendly to move those things around. It's not too difficult to do, pretty intuitive. There are some layouts that you can do that will help you too. So if I go up here to, let's say, a different page, first semester, and I wanted to do a certain layout, I could also do that, and it sort of gives you a good template to start with. You can see now I can add, it says upload an image. So these boxes up at the top are meant for images, but you could put other things in there too. So it's really as easy as that. Okay, so let's say you have it looking pretty much the way you want to, and you're ready to put it out there so people can have access to it. What you're going to go up here and do is hit publish, and then it's going to ask you, after you hit publish, what your web address is going to be. So here is where you could put in here, I'm going to put example site, example teacher site, and then I'm going to hit publish. So at this point, it's going to be out there and people will have access to it. You can share this web address and people will be able to see it. Now, if you want to take a look at what will it look like, because I'm still in sort of editing mode here, as you can see, it's still asking me to edit things. You can go up here next to publish now, there's a drop-down box. If you click on that drop-down box, you can click on view published site, and then it will open up a separate tab at the top, and this is what your site will look like to people that are just coming to your site. So you can see here I clicked on home, I have my different pages at the top, there's my menu at the top. Here's the drop down menu for first semester, second semester we created, and you can keep going over here. So if you click on these other units like unit 1, that's where I put the biomes. You can see here's my picture that we added there and some text, and I can go back here. Now keep in mind you can keep editing this, and what I would recommend is you get your home page set up, you get the introduction worded the way you want to, start organizing it. But really, if you have a bunch of units that are later in the year, you can start a page for those, but you can add to that later. Don't worry about it being a little bit empty as you first start. This can be a work in progress, and really everyone will understand that this is something new that you created and that you're adding to it this year. So really try not to obsess too much about how it looks and all of the formatting and things like that. Those are things that you can work on later. What you want to make sure you have is a start. Just get started on it, and then you can expand from that. All right, I hope this video was helpful to you, and hopefully you started your Google site. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave those in the comments section, or you can get a hold of me at kbollendorf@fleetwoodasd.org. Until next video, take care, and I'll talk to you soon.